Tonight, the case surrounding the deaths of Abby Williams and Libby German is now in the hands of the jury. Closing arguments in the Delphi murders trial wrapped up just hours ago.
And now the jury's gone back to their hotel after the first few hours of deliberations today. Tonight, we have team coverage for you. Our Samantha Johnson's been out in the Delphi community talking to people there about the impact of this trial there for the last 3 weeks.
But we start our coverage with our Emily Longnecker and Bob Siegel. They were in the courtroom as the state and the defense spoke to the jury one last time.
And they both join us live tonight from outside the Carroll County Courthouse with a look at what was said. Bob and Emily.
Well, Ann and Felicia, powerful moments in these closing statements from both the state and the defense, words that will likely stick in this jury's mind as they deliberate. The state went first in their closing statements, telling the jury Bridge Guy is guilty of murder and Richard Allen is Bridge Guy. Nicholas McClellan told the jury that February 13th, 2017 was a day this community will never forget, saying it's the day Abby and Libby went to the trails for a walk and never returned. McClellan said in the hours of people searching for the girls, no one thought anything bad had happened, that this was a small community and these kind of things don't happen. McClellan pulled up pictures of the crime scene showing Abby and Libby's bodies, saying, quote, "This next picture is hard to see, but this is what they saw," recalling the moments the girls' bodies were found. McClellan played the video of Bridge Guy from Libby's phone, saying something told Libby she needed to take video of the man behind Abby that day. McClellan set up a timeline using witnesses who testified they saw Bridge Guy that day. He told the jury investigators knew, quote, "If we could find Bridge Guy, we could find the killer." When Richard Allen was arrested 5 years later, McClellan recalled what police found in Allen's home: a blue Carhartt jacket, a bullet in a memory box, and a Sig Sauer gun, calling it the Bridge Guy starter kit. The state also replayed 2 phone calls Richard Allen made from prison, the first confessing to his wife, the second telling his mom he killed the girls. McClellan told the jury, quote, "Richard Allen is Bridge Guy. Richard Allen used his gun to force the girls down the hill," also telling them, quote, "He slit their throats. He left behind his calling card, a bullet from his gun." McClellan called February 13th a day that Bridge Guy stole the youth and life away from Abby and Libby. And McClellan ended by saying for 5 years he lived in this community amongst us, telling the jury again that Richard Allen is Bridge Guy and that Bridge Guy killed Abby and Libby. My colleague Bob Siegel is here joining me with some powerful moments and points that the defense had in their closing statements.
Yeah, the defense got their chance to give closing argument, and after 17 days of testimony and 64 separate witnesses, the defense told the jury that this case comes down to really 4 main themes. Those themes include a broken timeline, bumbled ballistics, false confessions, and digital forensic data. And then defense attorney Brad Rosie added one more theme, which he said is perhaps the most important: what the state did not want the jury to hear about. He faulted the state for withholding evidence from the jury, letting jurors hear only phone calls that make Allen sound guilty, and twisting Allen's words to fit the state's narrative. Rosie told jurors state experts reached faulty conclusions and used bad science to link Allen's gun to a cartridge at the crime scene. And he reminded them several state witnesses gave contradictory testimony, such as a prison psychiatrist who flipped back and forth when asked if Allen was psychotic during the times he confessed to murdering Abby and Libby. Rosie reminded jurors it was Allen who went to police right after the murders to say he was near the crime scene and wanted to offer information. And he said of all the state witnesses who saw Bridge Guy, not one identified Richard Allen as the man on the bridge. He reiterated there's no digital data, no fingerprints, no DNA, and no trace material linking Allen to the crime scene or the murders. And he spent a lot of time talking about how Allen's harsh treatment in prison was a form of modern-day torture that led him to make false confessions while he was having psychotic breakdowns. He told the jury, "Where's the moral compass? You are the moral compass. We are asking you to set Richard Allen free and a verdict of not guilty." So, jurors got instructions from the judge after the closing statements, and then they deliberated for about 2 hours before breaking and going back to their hotel. They're going to be back at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. But before they went into the jury room, the prosecutor got one more chance to make a statement to the jury. and it was a powerful one, an emotional one. We're going to tell you about that coming up at 6. And Felicia, we are live in Delphi. We'll see you in a little while.
All right, Bob and Emily reporting live for us tonight. Thank you so much. As we wait to hear from the jury, dozens of people right now are waiting outside the courthouse because they want to be among the very first to be inside to hear that verdict.
Samantha Johnson is in Delphi again today, where the community continues to wait.
The streetlights around the Carroll County Courthouse are still wrapped in blue and purple ribbon, representing the favorite colors of Abby and Libby. Of course, their families and this entire community have waited more than 7.5 years for this, a time when this case and the fate of this case is now in the hands of the jury.
I think we all want justice. I think that would be the ideal endpoint.
Piper Hanan of Noblesville,
I came up by myself.
one of dozens of people camped out for weeks,
On and off since the beginning of the trial.
trying to snag one of the few public seats inside the Carroll County Courthouse.
Unfortunately, even if you spend the night, sleep in the cold and rain, you aren't even guaranteed to get in.
All to witness a jury trial that has engulfed this small town for years.
Well, you know, it's attracted crowds for a long time. Over time, we just all in the community became invested in seeing it through to the end.
2 girls, 2 families, and now the man charged in their murders at the center of it all. Libby German's sister Kelsey taking to social media early Thursday morning, writing, quote, "Justice for Abby and Libby." Outside the courthouse, plenty of opinion from the public, but perhaps this sign says it all. Not taking any sides, but letting everyone know the world is watching. In Delphi, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
And as we do every night, we'll take a closer look at the developments in the courtroom today during our Delphi debrief.
Bob will be back with Emily and our legal expert as well, and it's over on WTHR Plus at 10 o'clock. You can find that on Apple TV, Roku, as well as Fire Stick.